Hi, everybody. It's Crazy, and for another week, I'm up to episode number 19. Yeah, getting almost to that 2.0 mark. Um, this week, I kind of give myself a little bit of a pat on the back. Yay, I did something good. Um, but I'm going to go into my thought processes and what it actually entails. And so, what it actually entails is this book right here, which is Automate the Boring Stuff with Python. Now, this book isn't the typical Pygame and Python type of thing to make it where you can make a game. This one is actually a hodgepodge of different little things that can actually help you automate the boring stuff just using Python. So I was like, okay, well, my buddy Day says, it'd be a good idea to kind of go this route to try to give myself a little bit of knowledge, and it did help. And Day, thank you, bud. I appreciate it. Um, but I still gave myself a little bit of a quantity at the beginning. So I'm up to page 118. It's a little bit higher than 118, but that's where I wrote the last one I had on there. So I made it all the way through, and I got through the summary, and got through the practice questions, and then I got to the practice projects. Now, the practice projects give you a little bit of hands-on, here it is, see if you can do it. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And it's a fantasy game inventory. Heck yeah, right along my alley, right? On the game side of it. So I'm really not getting out of the game aspect, right? So I was like, okay, this is exciting. Yes. Okay, before I get too far into that, that's one thing that a lot of people get misconstrued on, and I did. If you didn't, kudos to you, but I did. So my problem was I saw game. Oh, my mind went to reeling, and I'm like, oh man, if I could do an inventory in my game, that'd be great. Yada 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 yada. My mind started going. So now I'm already blocking myself from actually learning this because I'm stuck on imagination mode. You can't be in that mode when you're trying to figure something else out while you're trying to learn it. So if it's just me, hey, just the way it goes. All right, so I saw this and I was like, yay, I can do something. So yeah, I tried to do it. I started trying to do it myself. I did the dictionary with all this in it, and I said, okay, yeah, the player has 1 rope, 6 torches, 42 coins, and so on. I was like, okay, and it's going to do this. I'm like, okay, so, all right, think about it. How would I build this? Well, of course, I'm going to have to display the inventory, right? So I got to create a function for that. You know, write a function named this, that would take any possible inventory and display it like the following, just like this. Okay, I'm like, okay, I can do that. Yes. And then I went down, so I can get more information. I was like, oh, and it says, hint, you can use a for loop to loop through all the keys in the dictionary. Okay, he kind of gives it away to you, right? And you're like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, I can just use a for loop, right? Use a for loop. Then, and I was like, wait a minute. He just basically gave me all the code. And if you look at my code over here, which is this top code right here, it's all right here, but done a little bit differently because I changed a few things up. I changed inventory, I named it inventory instead of stuff. Of course, the inventory items are the same because that's what we're supposed to have in it. Display inventory is the same. Instead of writing inventory here, I wrote inv. You know, um, print the inventory. He don't have that. He actually has it be. Well, he does have it below it. Never mind. Okay. Then instead of what he has, which is total item total, I put number have. That's how many I have of that number. And right now at the point it was 0, which is what he has. And then I got the 4K in inventory items, but he had inventory items, not inv items. The only reason why I put inv items there is because I have it right here. Now, I figure that's what it's supposed to be. Let me know in the comments if that's right or wrong. Okay, so as I go on, I've got this blanked out because I was trying to figure out if I took this out, what would happen. And what would happen is it will not print the numbers that I have, the total number. Okay, that's what this is for. Okay, for each number that I have, I add that to whatever the value is in the dictionary. Okay, And then, of course, it prints out the value, and then it gives a space, and then it prints out the key for that value. And then it prints the number of strings. So if I hit F5, guess what? Woohoo! I got it right here. Okay? Instead of when I commented it out earlier, this is what would happen. It didn't give no number at all because it didn't add anything. 0 plus 0 is come on, standard math, 0. So now I did it. I was like, oh my god, it worked. My problem was, okay, with that was this right here. I was actually doing something else. And in a previous, I don't know if I got it up. Nope, I got to bring it up real quick, which is this one right here, total bot, which is the, part before. I was trying to do v.get item 0. Okay, that won't work. Okay, because it's trying, v becomes an integer, and an integer does not have a dot get. So, and that's the error code it throws. It says integer does not have dot get. So this does not work, and so I had to figure out how to get rid of it. And this is basically the code I was looking at. It was like, okay, brought, okay, yeah, and then it adds it. But what if it doesn't have one? Well, over here, let me come back to this. Okay, as I scroll through, and it says, okay, if it does have one, just add it in. If it doesn't, what do I do? Well, that doesn't matter because it's just going to add all these up. Okay, they're all in here. They're already ready to go. Which brings me to the next part of the book and the practice programs. Is now I'm going to add a list called Dragon Loot to it. Okay, it says write a function that named add to inventory add items. Plain and simple, right? Okay, so, and I'm like, oh, he even gives you the code again. Oh my goodness. He gives you the code again. Well, that's nice. Let me hang on. Let me go ahead and I'm over here commenting out here. I'll even switch over so you can see what I'm doing because it really doesn't matter. I'm just commenting these out so that I can dance between them for video's sake. Because like I said, in all my, in my very first video, I say I don't cut, I don't edit, I just put it out there. This is it. One take does it all. So this is the one take. So either I do it or I start from scratch. So now you know. Yeah, I have blooper reels galore. But nonetheless, this is the program, and this is what I had to add in. Okay, which is actually this. Okay, because he gave you all the information, which is right here. He gives you all this to work with, and all you got to do is add the, this right here back in, which is this right here. Okay, that's all it is. I just took out the inventory. I could have actually left all this and just kind of like commented these out, but I didn't worry about it. I wanted to get more knowledge and write it in. That's what I was trying to do. So, so I was like, okay, I know how to do this. So I put this in, and I was like, okay, now I need to do my, add to inventory, function. So it's like, okay, I got to figure this out. So I've got to put this in, and in order to put this in, because he don't give it to you, I was like, okay, so for I in add items, it sounds like right because for each item in my add items, I want to do something with it, right? Let me know in the comments or hop on over to my server and say, hey, Crazy, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're on the right track, or Crazy. You're way out there, dude. Let me know. I'd be more than happy to take any information that anybody says. So, with that, I figured it out. I said, okay, inventory. Now, there's this neat little feature called set default, and you can set the default value to a certain value. Like if I wanted to set default to 15, it would automatically put 15 on everything that is not there. So when it drops it into there, it says, okay, you're going to be 15. But right now, I got it set to 0 because I at least want to add it in there. Okay, so, and then it was like, okay, now for every item that I have, I want to, that I do have that's already in my inventory, I want to add one to it. I want to add one. So that was it, plain and simple, right? Poof, done. Hey, program solved. And then I was like, okay, well, when I did that, and if I comment these out, just to show you what it does, because it's just going to go all kinds of crazy now. Okay, yeah. No attribute called items. Okay, so, all right, now I've got to figure out how to do that. And so I was like, okay, so I got to have a for loop. Okay, and then in that for loop, it's going to go over my add items. It's just for each add item, add items in my inventory. Okay, it's going to do something. It's going to go to inventory and it's going to add those items in. Okay, it's going to say inventory add items. It's going to add those. And then I'm going to return inventory, which is going to print out my new inventory, which is, ta-da! I did it! Yay! Okay. What my problem was originally is I was coming up with zeros. Okay, because I forgot to put this in. Okay, well, it can't find the dagger because there's no dagger in the inventory. Okay, so since it's not in that dictionary of inventory, it can't put it in there because it has nothing to tell it to put it in there. Okay, so that's the thing I found out. I was like, oh, I get it. I figured it out. Boom, 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 boom. I did it. So that's what I gave myself a good pat on the back for, because I figured something out. Now, here goes my problem, though. I still got this code. Let me kick it over. Okay, I still was given this code. Now, this code is okay, because I'm learning it. But I can't learn it if I don't start from the beginning, start from just words. Hey, write a function named add inventory, and then go from there and continue on. He tells you everything you need to do for it, but then gives you the code. And I think that helped me, but also hindered me. You let me know. You let me know in the comments, down there what you think, or hop on over to my server and say, hey, Crazy, yeah, I agree with you, I disagree with you, whatever. Let me know. Tell me what you think. I really like everybody's opinion. But so far, let's see, what am I getting up to? Yeah, I'm into 12 minutes. So that was it. Just a future note, I'm going to start switching my learned experience over to Wednesdays. The only reason why I'm going to do that is because making 2 videos a night is kind of taxing when I only have a few hours to work. So what I'm going to do is I don't know. You let me know. Should I move my learned experience to Wednesday, or should I move my oops to Wednesday? Okay. And those of you who don't know what the oops videos are, become a patron and find out in the description below. But let me know if you are part of my team. You're on my Discord and you happen to be one of my trusted or my crazy fam or a Patreon. You'll be able to have access to the oops videos. But which one should I do? Should I do my learned experience, which is this one, or should I do my oops videos on Wednesdays? Let me know which one, either in the comments or hop on over to my server and say, hey, Crazy, yeah, we want oops, or hey, Crazy, we want the learned experience on Wednesdays. Okay, that way I can switch them up and I don't have to fight with it too much. Okay, so till next time, if I can find my, there you go.